guys? Drive through N5 here. I'm here at Sherill Brook Park in New Hartford, New York. It's about 51 degrees right now. Not too bad for flying the drone out here a little bit. Finally, we got some weather in the 50s. Today is April 1st, 2020. When doing a 2-week notice, you definitely want to put it in writing. Just write a short and concise letter to your boss. So you write "Dear," whatever your boss's name is, and write a short letter saying that you're quitting, pretty much. It's very important when you do your note that you don't write anything negative. You keep it very short. Don't go into detail in why you're quitting. Just say, "I appreciate the opportunity. My last day of work here will be so and so." Now, your job may want you to do a 4-week notice like mine did, but I felt like 2-week notice was more than enough. What I did was write my letter and basically just dropped it off at my boss's desk. First thing in the morning that day, I put the notice in. I intended to hand it to him in person, but he wasn't there. He was in meetings, so I just dropped it off on his desk and he got the message. So my 2-week notice letter said pretty much "Dear," and then my boss's name. Under that I wrote, "This letter is to inform you that I'm resigning from my position at," and then I wrote the facility name. Then after that it said today's date is, whatever the date was, and then I wrote after that, "My last day of working here will be," and then I wrote that date, which was 2 weeks and 1 day, which happened to be on a Friday. You don't need to write an explanation for your decision. Just keep it simple, because your boss is already going to ask you why you're doing this. If you're working full-time, you're probably going to have some paid time off accrued. If you do your 2-week notice, they should give you they should cash out your paid time off when you're done after the 2 weeks, unless you have it in writing that you'll agree to do a 4-week notice. In my job in particular, the agreement was after I put a 4-week notice in that they'll cash out my my paid time off, but I felt like I put enough of my time and hard work into there that 2 weeks was more than enough. So am I gonna have to sell the Corvette since I quit my job? The answer is no. Look at this huge helipad I have, this basketball court. I can use it as a huge helipad. Take off and land right from the middle of there. Also have my floor mat over here. I'm cheap right now. I don't want to spend too much money at once, but soon I'm gonna buy an actual helipad, probably like 3 feet circle that's 3 feet big. I do physical therapy, and I quit my job because I've been doing full-time work for a while now, and I feel like I just want to work as needed or per diem. I really feel like I work too much. 40 hours a week is way too much for me, so I want to do per diem work, maybe like 15 to 20 hours every week. That'd be more than enough for me. I feel like such a slave working 40 hours a week. I feel like I'm trapped. When you work 40 hours a week, it's like literally your whole life is devoted to working. Even the time when you're not there, let's say you come home at 5 o'clock, you pretty much have to like rest, eat your food, and then pretty much you have to go to sleep and prepare yourself for the next day. Here's my Corvette. My other car is a 2012 Honda Accord Coupe. I want to talk about the differences about these two cars. They weigh about the same. The Corvette is actually just a little lighter, but this car has over double the power. The Honda Accord has 190 horsepower. This thing has 400, and it has a pretty nice exhaust, which probably gives it like another 5 to 10 horsepower. So this thing's like 405 horsepower. Same with the torque. torque in the Honda is like 160. It's like nothing compared to this thing. The main difference between this and the Honda in terms of speed is when you're already going like at fast speeds. The acceleration with this car, let's say you're already doing 50 miles per hour, this thing pulls like crazy. If you drop it in like third gear, you're gonna accelerate way harder than the Honda. All cars are kind of quick off the line. You can't really tell which one is, you know, that much faster from like 0 to 20 miles per hour. But this thing has tons of grip, and when you're at speed, it accelerates like crazy compared to a Honda. I passed a semi today going to work, my per diem work, because I don't really do the full-time work anymore. But I passed a semi, and it was so easy to do with this car. We were going like 45 miles per hour up a little hill, and I put it in third gear, and instantly this thing like rocketed off right around the truck. My Honda would have had a much harder time. It could do it, but it would have taken a lot more effort from the Honda. I like the way the Corvette makes its power. It's like it's got tons of torque at like 2000 RPM. It probably has more torque at 2000 RPM than the Honda does at 5000 RPM. Some things that the Honda is actually better at is the transmission. The transmission in the Honda is so amazingly smooth. The Corvette actually has a rough transmission. You have to shift it really hard, and it doesn't go into gear that easy like the Honda. The steering in the Corvette is actually heavy. It's the lighter car, but the steering is very heavy. I don't know, probably because the car is so stiff and they want it to have like a sporty feel, but the steering in the Honda is very light. Alright, I'm gonna do some more flying video with the drone here.